What's up?
How's it going?
Man, what's happening with you, man?
I feel so out of place. I jumped in a little early. I was listening to you talk about rap, and I just feel so out of place. I'm probably the whitest one.
Well, I mean, most of these artists are probably, they probably start really dropping new music when you was probably in middle school or something.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's age me a little more.
Yeah, man. Your boy in here, man.
So yeah, see, we got you got some people watching. How many nights in a row you been doing this? How many Saturdays?
I've been doing it live for a couple of weeks, but
okay.
As far as integrating the podcast episodes and doing the interviews, you're my first one.
Look at that. Look at that. I feel special. Clover Tech's in here as well, so he said I'm not the whitest one. We're good.
Yeah, Clover Tech pretty white. He pretty white. Yeah. So what's been good with you, man? How you been doing?
Yeah, it's good. We let's see. Today, so Saturdays, I don't know how you get if you get any of your filming done on any particular days, but Saturdays are like my film days.
Gotcha.
So I had to Hank's actually out of town today. He went to get something done with the RV. So I went to the range and did some shooting, got some stuff filmed, and you got a celebrity's baby face. Nice. So anybody that, if you guys don't know me, go back, if you go look at my channel and look at my oldest videos, it's before I put on a little bit of weight and before I grew a beard, you'll see where the name comes from.
Man, when I first started watching Hank a few years ago, Hank looked kind of young back then too.
Looking back at his old stuff, he looks really he looks like camera shy. Like, you get more comfortable in front of the camera the more you do it, but it's so weird looking back at his like old gun content because it looks so different, such a different attitude and everything.
Oh yeah, he kind of aggressive with it now. Hank's like,
exactly.
But yeah, I used to see you on the old videos, man, and I was like, man, who is this little white kid running around?
Yeah. You know what's funny is the first couple videos I did with him, people said I talk too much. That was the funny comment I always read was stop talking, stop interrupting Hank. And then I guess people got used to me and they started enjoying me interrupting him. And then Hank finally spurred me on to doing my own stuff, which has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I remember when you finally started your channel, I was like, I figured you would have had one by now.
I never wanted to do YouTube per se. I don't know. I back in college, I did a couple like gaming videos to see if they would take off. And the market for gaming stuff was so flooded by 2012. It's like trying to jump into that scene was impossible. But I mean, jumping into the scene here has been gun stuff is also one of those. It's like completely flooded. The market for gun tubers is you have to try to like make your mark somehow and differentiate yourself. But I got lucky. I had that one video that I think it's at like 3 or 4 million views. It went viral and I got like 10,000 subs or 15,000 subs off of that one single video, which is pretty awesome. That I got to find my next like viral hit.
So you got all those subs off of one video. Because
one video.
When I subscribed to you, you was at like 1,000, I think.
So So I found the first jump is once you hit 1,000 and you turn on monetization, for whatever reason, Google sees you as like the next tier up. So they start promoting your stuff more. And then once I hit 10,000, I think there was another jump. And then somehow I had that suppressor video that sat on my channel for, I must have been 6 or 8 months. It sat on the channel and didn't get any views until somehow it found its way into the algorithm. And then overnight, it started getting like 50,000 views, 60,000, 70. And it got up to like 3.5 million before they finally turned it off.
Wow.
Yeah, they screwed me. YouTube decided to turn off I should have just left it alone. I was like, man, maybe I could get some monetization because it was unmonetized. So I was like, put it in for a view. And overnight, they turned it off. They removed it from all the places you like. So it was trending on front page and suggested. They manually removed it from both of those. And overnight, it went from receiving 10,000 views to 20,000 views a day to like 400 views a day, and then down to like 100 views a day.
Damn. So you turned the faucet off.
I learned my lesson on that one. If I ever get another viral hit, I am not touching it. Nothing. I don't care if it's not making me money. I'm not touching it.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. YouTube messes with me so hard, and so I hit 1,000 subs a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
So of course went through the monetization. I was already monetized when it was you could have 100 subs and monetize.
They upped it.
Right, they upped it to 1,000, and so when I hit 1,000 subs, I already had the watch time hours and stuff. So they automatically started the process.
Mm-hmm.
So they went through and everything was greenlit. And then they went through and everything started turning yellow. Even the flashlight videos, dude.
Yep.
I was like, dude, it's a flashlight video. They're like, I violated our policies. I'm like, what?
The stuff that they do doesn't make any sense. Like, I have videos, I won't name the ones that are monetized, but I have a couple that 100% go against their TOS about building, because my channel is all about building stuff. And YouTube hates people showing how to build firearms. That is like evil to them.
Oh yeah.
I have a couple that are still monetized that somehow pull in $100 a month for me, which is free money. I can't complain. But yeah, I'm not mentioning them. I have no idea. If somebody's like, "Hey, that video's monetized," I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that. I have no clue what you mean.
Man, I think the one video that I really like of yours, and it's not really like an exciting video, but I've always been interested in the ghost gun.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about. But I was supposed to get one of their. They got in contact with me because it's with all the ghost gun videos. I think it's #1 on YouTube. It's like the #1 ghost gun video.
Right.
They got in contact with me and asked me if I wanted to review the new one, the Ghost Gun 3. And then what was it? They got in contact. I said, yeah, send it out. Put me on the list and send one out, which is a huge deal because those things are like $2,000. That's a big deal. And then like 3 months later, a video came out with TFB TV, James, whatever his name is, doing a video, and he got one. I never heard from them since. I have never gotten an email back from them after that.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, no, the games they play, they found somebody bigger and was like, never mind, we don't need you anymore.
Well, I see Hank done hit 100,000, so you're creeping up on him too. You coming up fast, buddy.
Yeah, it's slowing down. It's going. I can't complain. It's moving, and you'll see it too. Once you hit 100 or you hit 1,000, the thing that I found for me is consistency, putting out stuff on a regular basis, and not even doing multiple videos a week. Just consistently putting out like good content once a week or once every 2 weeks. Right. People start like finding that consistency, and it helps for whatever reason.
Okay.
But no, the other thing I did is I got Marley to allow me to spend some money way back when on a new camera, and that was a big step up. Getting this camera has been a huge step forward.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. That's one thing I can honestly say that I'm glad I don't have to deal with is talking to the wife. About getting stuff.
I'm lucky. There are men out there that I know who have to run like every purchase by their wife and hey, this isn't, hey, can I buy this? Can I have this? I went to the range. I was playing with some new stuff today.
Yeah.
I didn't ask. I just went and got it.
Yeah.
It helps when, for now, I'm the breadwinner. So I make the most money. She's in a nursing. She works as a nurse at Shands Hospital.
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind that in time she will jump me in salary, but for now I'm still the breadwinner. I can get away with buying whatever I want.
Man, I don't care who the breadwinner is. I work for my money.
That's exactly right. Yeah, no, it's like if I want guns. Our next step is having kids, and man, that shit stresses me out. I'm not ready, but
you're definitely not gonna be buying guns. That's for sure.
I know. I sold off a lot. Have you been through any big sell-offs in your life?
I just went through one.
It sucks. When she was in nursing school, I went through a sell-off. I had just gotten fired. We had a house, we have a mortgage, we got all the stuff to pay for, and we got to pay for her schooling and all the other. So I sold off a whole bunch of stuff and I want it back.
When I got divorced, I was like, well, you know what? She's gonna come after my guns because she knows I love my guns. So I was like, she's not gonna get them. So I took them all to a pawn shop and I pawned them all and then put them on layaway. until the divorce was over.
Nice.
And then
was she vindictive? Is that how it went?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I was more vindictive.
Really?
Yeah. I was super vindictive. But yeah, I did that, and then here recently, I just did a sell off, but it was just by choice because I got to a point to where I was like, I got all these guns sitting around, but I just want stuff that I want. I don't want stuff just sitting around.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I went ahead and sold some stuff.
Have you gotten into the NFA game at all? You got suppressors, silent, machine guns.
No.
It's whenever you put your toe into that game, that's when you start. You got to have you'll find reasons to have cans. You'll be like, well, I have this gun that I want to get. I really need a 30 caliber suppressor for that. But I also have this one, so I need a 5.56 cal. I need a 22 there. And then once you have your basics of a good 5.56, a good 30 cal, a 9, a 45, then you start going for the weird stuff, and you're like, well, they make that really short 45. I kind of want that. Or but they make that in full auto and it's lighter, but I need that one too.
Nah, I'm not going down that rabbit hole, baby face.
It's dangerous. NFA game is dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. So what I'm gonna do, I was gonna get a 30 cal can because mainly what I shoot is 5.56, 300 blackout.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Then I have a 7.62.
That's what I did. I got
a 30 cal can to cover everything.
I got a what are they calling it now? The Silencer Co. Omega 300 is now what they're calling it.
Yeah.
I picked up one of those. That's all I run. I even run it. I hope Silencer Co. isn't listening, but I even run it on the crank, which is well below. It's they rate it to a 10.5 inch barrel or something. Mm-hmm. That crank is an 8.5 inch barrel, and it is real dirty. I do it anyways.
Yeah. Man, my thing is, I don't want the government's already in our business, Jesus, and I feel like getting something that's NFA that just opens the door, and they're it's just letting them in.
That's part of the I mean, I'm curious to see where pistol braces go in the next 6 months, because that to me, we can all pretend like we're not using them for what they are, but it's a lot of people are using them to not put in NFA paperwork, which you shouldn't have to anyways. You shouldn't have to NFA anything. But
yeah, I mean, with the pistol braces, man, pretty much all my guns are on pistol braces. I only have 2 that are not.
I have 4 SBRs, and it was because other than the MP5, I have the Crink that's an SBR. I have a 9mm SBR. And I have my standard 5.56 bedside SBR. I made all of those when the only pistol brace you could get was the huge floppy rubber things, and I hated them.
Those what are they called? The shark fin looking ones?
Yeah, the old originals. I didn't like them, so I went for the pistol brace, or I went for the SBR. But moving forward, it's hard to justify $200 when you can buy and then the other thing is, for anybody out there that isn't in the NFA game yet, we have some open land in North Carolina, some property. If I want to travel with my SBR to North Carolina, I'm supposed to fill out a 5320.20, have them approve it, and then I can travel with my own property, which is
stupid,
insane. Where with a pistol, you don't have to worry about that. It's a pistol. You don't have to care.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. I don't want to have to get a permission slip every time I want to take my gun somewhere.
It's so asinine. The only upside to that is you can do it for a year at a time. So for us, we travel to this one place a lot, twice a year, 3 times a year. So I would do it. I haven't done it in a while for a full year, but you don't have to do it with the suppressors. For whatever reason, suppressors are exempt. You only have to do it with SBRs and machine guns. SBS is shotguns, short barrel shotguns. But suppressors, totally fine. As long as the state is not illegal in that state, it doesn't matter. It's ridiculous.
That's kind of stupid.
Yeah. And all the states we travel through Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. It's all southeastern states, which are all gun friendly anyways. So.
Yeah, Tennessee, we don't really care, man. You can have what you want to, pretty much.
Exactly. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Big city. Marley's aunt lives in a tiny little town called. Oh man, I can't think of it now. It's outside. Hold on, let me yell at Mar. Mar. Kingston, I think, is the name of it. Tiny little town called
Kingston Springs.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not.
Yeah.
That's about 45 minutes.
Oh, that's not far at all.
No.
Yeah, we need to visit at some point, but it's from what I hear, it's a very small town.
Yeah, man, y'all ought to come up here and check it out, man.
My grandfather's from Tennessee.
Really?
My grandfather was born and raised on a little farm in Tennessee, and then escaped the rural farming life by he went to the Air Force.
Okay.
He got out of Tennessee by going in the military. But no, we have roots going back there.
Okay.
No, I like Tennessee is one of the prettier states. I still am partial to North Carolina because it has beaches, it has mountains, it's got like everything and seasons. Oh, we don't have seasons in Florida. But no, Tennessee's another one of those like really pretty states.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, man. We're gun friendly. Everybody, for the most part, is pretty friendly. We don't have too many problems.
Yeah, it's Tennessee. My dad was born and raised in Kentucky, so same thing. We got roots all up in there.
Oh man, all right.
Yeah, but no, I like Tennessee. I enjoy. You guys have weather. That's the nice thing. You guys can get a little snow. You can get a little summer. We just have hot, and then it gets a little cold, and then it's back to hot.
Man, in the summertime, man, it's so humid here, dude. You just walk outside and start sweating.
Have you been to Florida during the summertime?
Yeah.
And mind you, in Gainesville, we're literally in a swamp. It's today wasn't too bad, but it gets awful.
Man, every time I've been to Florida, literally every time I've ever went to Florida, it seemed like every day around 2 or 3 o'clock it would rain.
Yep.
And it would rain for like an hour, then it would just stop and go away.
And then the humidity is just like what part you go to? What area?
I've been to Miami, Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, Orlando.
I went to school in Orlando. I was born and raised in Tampa and went to school in Orlando. And every day without fail during the summer in Orlando, you can see the clouds moving in like 2 o'clock. Every single day it rains.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, though, is Savannah, Georgia.
That's what I hear. I've never been. I hear it's really cool. It's a really pretty city.
Man, it's gorgeous down there, man. It's
and it's like a really old town too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real old, man. Like you walk down the street and you can see the history, but at the same time, you also know that there's a lot of history here, but not for us.
You know the interesting thing. When Marley and I were talking about doing some traveling, when everything slows back down, I want to travel some, and I came to the realization that in the U.S. we have pretty much anything you'd want to see besides human history. If you want to see like really old human history, you have to go to Europe and go see the pyramids or go see things like that.
Yeah. When
it comes to nature and things like that, here in the States, we got everything. You can find whatever you want to visit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird because I lived in Arizona for a year.
Mm-hmm.
It never rained. The only time it snowed, I was there for a year. I saw rain 3 times. The only time I saw snow, there's a mountain called Camelback.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the snow on the mountain caps. But that was it. It never snowed inside the city limits. It was like it was a wall up and it was like, nah, you can't snow over here.
And they have that dry heat too, that oven heat, right? Like when it gets hot, it's like putting your head in an oven.
Well, it's hot, but it's like it's dry heat.
Mm-hmm.
But like compared to what I'm used to, it was nice for me because I could walk outside and not start sweating immediately.
Yeah, that's the plus side. One summer I visited Sacramento. Very similar. It's got that, like I got off the plane and I was like, man, it's hot, but I'm not sweating like normal.
Right. But you can't throw an egg on the sidewalk and watch it fry. It's funny because there's a guy a few years ago, he did a video. He had a Lamborghini Gallardo and he took a cookie sheet and put cookies on it and set it on the dashboard of the car and left it and they actually baked.
Jesus. Yeah, we don't have heat like that.
Yeah, man.
See, Pets Firearms says Charleston, South Carolina is even better than Savannah. I don't think I've ever been to. I've been to south of the border in South Carolina.
Yeah, I've never been down there.
Don't they have a big Pets? You can tell me. Don't they have a big Palmetto State Armory in Charleston? Is that where they're at?
Yeah. Palmetto's in Charleston, I think.
It's in Charleston. That's what I thought. Yeah,
They got
I
a
need to
store
go
down
visit.
there too.
I want to go visit. Mike from what's his name? NW Firearms? No, man, I can't remember what company he runs. He's on Hank's show every now and then. I think he's in Charleston.
Okay. Now you're a big AK guy, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, I like them all, but I like my AKs. I have a fondness for AKs.
What's your favorite?
Well, okay, so let's start with caliber first. When it comes to AK calibers, I love the 545. Have you ever fired 545?
No.
Have you shot 7.62 regular AK? Okay, yeah. 545. If you ever get a chance to shoot a full length 545 with one of those like bell breaks that they have, the softest recoiling gun with still a lot of terminal ballistics and killing power. It's awesome. Okay. So first off, I start by liking 545. I shoot like I have my personal build is over here that the first AK I built off camera. I can grab it. But Michael Woodland, thank you. MW Tactical, Clover Tac corrected me. Michael Woodland, he's in that area. So 7.62 is good.
What's up, bro?
7.62 is good because it is a generic caliber. You can back a couple years ago, you could even find it at Walmart. It's prolific. Third World has it everywhere. Right. I'm a little wuss. I don't like the recoil of it. I like the 545. I just like the recoil impulse of 545 because it's super, super gentle. And then like the crank. Here, I'm trying to grab it.
Oh, hey, hold up. You know you can't do that.
Some people get away with it. Well, it's sitting on a wall. It's sitting on a wall. I can show it off if it's sitting on a wall, right? I can't touch it.
Yeah, you can't touch it.
There we go. There's a crank.
Oh man.
There's stinky crank.
I like that setup.
Yeah, it's stinky crank in the MP5. But 545 is just I love 545. ZPAP 70. This one is a actual AK. It's a Russian AKS-74U parts kit that I put back together.
Yeah, ZPAPs are nice, man.
Those are Croatian? No.
Yeah, Zastavas are.
Oh God, I can't think of where they come from.
I think it is Croatia.
This is, let me look it up. Zastava factory, Romanian, maybe. Serbia. They're Serbian. Yeah. No. They're here. I mean, those are their. That's their military firearm. Zastava makes the Serbian army guns. I thought. So they're like high quality, but they're not horribly expensive.
Yeah, we sell a lot of them at the shop.
What shop are you at? Do you have your own?
No. I work with it's called On Target Shooting Sports.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Target.
Yep, On Target Shooting Sports in Murfreesboro.
They're priced right. That's what's really nice about them. They're not horribly expensive. And AKs shouldn't be expensive. When you buy an American-made AK, you're paying for an American to make it. Is pretty much it, because the technology is simple. It's stamping and what's it called for the trunnions when you mash up the forgings? Yeah. So it's really simple tech. They shouldn't be pricey, but with the laws that have been put into effect lately of banning imports and whatnot, prices are just ridiculous.
What do you think about Dracos?
I've only ever shot them as pistols. I think the wood is hilarious. The handguards to me look like a 2x4 that somebody just kind of roughly milled and attached to it. But I have seen videos where, because again, those overseas, you can get them in Serbia or wherever, Romania, full auto and with a stock. So those things are little hell pups. They just blast fire.
Yeah.
But they're not bad.
A lot of people that follow my channel and follow my boy RGG's channel, a regular gun guy, they love some doggone Dracos, man.
I have to say, if you watch like Atlanta rap videos, like not well produced ones, just like the regular dudes that are getting out and rapping on the streets, there's a lot of Dracos in those videos.
Yeah, man. I'm like, bro, And we sell a lot of them at the shop, man. We can't keep Dracos.
They're not that expensive, right? They're only a couple of $500-$600, something like that.
They've been running like 8, and then from what I hear lately, that people been paying like 17.
What? No, get out of here. 17?
Yeah, for a Draco, bro.
Good Lord. I paid, and I thought I was getting screwed. That parts kit was like $1,200 for that crank, for a Russian crank parts kit. And I thought, to me, I was like, that's insane. I can't believe I'm paying that. But now trying to even find one is impossible.
Yeah.
Much less a Russian. Most of them were Bulgarian that you get.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think with Biden and all these gun laws that they've got that they're trying to cram down our throats, a lot of prices are fixing to shoot through the roof, man.
I think so. If you got, I mean, for anybody listening, if you have surplus, if you got things sitting around you don't want, it might be the time to move things, but mini Dracos are getting close to 2K? That's insane.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting crazy, man.
It's I hate to say it is not a $2,000 gun. It's just not.
No, man, no.
Yeah, I could get a Jim Fuller gun for like $1,400, $1,500. Well, I don't know if you can do that now, but you could.
Man, I'm not a huge AK guy. I mean, they're great guns. Don't get me wrong, and I do plan on getting a Zastava. But I'm more of an AR guy. I love my ARs, man. I love the versatility of an AR. I love the availability of parts for an AR, and I love the interchangeability of ARs.
They're simple. They're simple to put together because all of the complexity goes into the machining. Right. Where with an AK, they're complex to put together because all the simplicity goes into the machining and building.
Right.
But no, ARs. I think there's an interview with Larry Vickers by Gun Jesus, Ian from Forgotten Weapons, where he asked him about, because Larry Vickers is a proponent. He's a big fan of AKs as well. And I kind of agree. His point of view was AKs are great for what they're made for, which was like arming peasants back in the 60s, arming people that in parts of the country were probably still like maybe illiterate, didn't have power, didn't have, running water in some areas. So arming them with a simple tool like that you can just run through hell, never clean, and it still works, was great. But when you start getting into higher training tiers, like obviously U.S. military, the higher tiers of the U.S. military, not just the grunts. ARs are better because what you can use them for, you can put all sorts of crazy shit on them. You can turn them into 300 blackouts, so you can turn them into all sorts of different calibers and make them run the way you want.
Or you can just pop the top off and drop another one on.
Yeah, that's exactly. You just click, and you got. I mean, that's why M16s, M16 lower transferables are so expensive. Because you can put whatever you want on it and make it go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I know, man. My man, he said he wants to buy a Tika 6.5 Creedmoor.
Have you ever shot 6.5?
I haven't shot 6.5 yet. I want one. I want a 6.5 Grendel, actually.
I've never shot 6.5 Grendel. I've shot 6.5 Grendel is a AR-10 platform. It goes in an AR-10, right?
What 6.5 Grendel? No,
or is that in an AR-15?
It's an AR-15.
Okay, yeah, that goes in an AR-15 platform. 6.5 Creedmoor goes in an AR-10 platform or bolt gun. Comparing those side by side, I got a chance one time to shoot a 308 next to 6.5. 6.5 wins hands down all day, every day, twice on Sunday. It is such a sweet caliber.
Yeah, I've had a chance to shoot. I guess the biggest caliber that I've shot has been a 50 Beowulf.
So I've never shot Beowulf. I've shot the 458 SOCOM? Yeah, I shot one of those. I've never shot the Beowulf. They're just, you get what, like 6 rounds out of a magazine or something?
Yeah.
They're like massive.
It looks like you're throwing little short buses down range.
Yeah.
But yeah, that 50 Beowulf, man, it was a 10.5-inch pistol. AR
Oh
pistol.
my God.
Yeah. And dude, that thing, it sounded like a Sherman tank went off. And it hits you hard, bro. I was like, oh man, I loved it. I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with it, dude.
That's like Walter. Walter loves the little fireball. He's got a couple AKs that he's chopped down to like 8 inches or something. Little AK pistols.
Yeah,
He
man.
wants to full auto them, and I'm like, they're awful. They make your teeth rattle out. Like my teeth hurt after I shoot them.
Man, Walter is like he's like the mad scientist. He reminds
Absolutely.
me of the professor from Back to the Future.
Yeah, no,
Like-
that's exactly right. That is exactly right. His shop's cool. If you ever get to come down, you should hit him up and see if he'll take you to the shop. It's not that interesting because it's just a machine shop, but getting to see how things are built is always cool to me.
Yeah, because he does everything, right?
Just about. I think the only thing he doesn't do in house are some of the screws, things like that, and the barrels come in as blanks and they just turn them down. But for the most part, it's all, everything's done in-house. They just got a couple new machines.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, I've seen one of his guns in the store up here in Franklin, Tennessee, yeah. And I walked in, I looked at it, I was like, man, that looks like one of Walter's guns from Safety Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and looked at it, and I was like, damn, it is. And it was like $2,500.
Was it a complete gun?
Yeah.
That's the going price, I think, on a complete 50 cal. I think you can get the upper, just the upper, like a single shot upper for like 18, maybe 16. I don't know, prices, with prices being what they are right now, who knows? But
yeah,
they're I like them because it's the cheapest way you could get into 50. If you want to start getting into 50, that's like the bare bones minimum. But when you start talking 50 cal, prices start shooting up real fast. Really fast.
And that 50 cal ammo is crazy. I know there's a range up here I go to. I do a lot of recording out there. Mm-hmm. And they'll let you rent their Barrett 50, and you can get it, like you can get some rounds to shoot or whatever, but it's like $10 a round.
Yep. Yeah, when I was working at the gun store, I was able to pick them up for about $3.50 a round. Like that was wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
But we were selling. The shop was selling them for like $6 a round, something like that. It's not cheap. Shooting a 50 is not cheap. It is so expensive.
Man, it's expensive as hell. I think the ones we got some at our shop right now, and I think they were like, I think a box of 10 was like $50.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the going rate.
Yeah,
but they're available, right? Nobody's buying 50. You can't buy 9, you can't buy 45, but you can buy all the 50 you want.
Man, we actually just got a nice shipment of 9mm, and I thought it was Tula because we got a big shipment of Tula, and actually ended up being some the Bellum.
Okay, yeah. I've shot a little bit of that.
Yeah, we got the Bellum.
Steel cased?
No, it's brass.
Oh, that's brass cased? Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Yeah, Bellum is brass case with seal primer.
I can't wait for prices. And I think, like I was saying the other night, I think prices in time will come back down. It's just how long, with the rhetoric that's going on right now, how long is that going to take?
Right. And the prices right now, I mean, they're at our shop, they're kind of up and down. Mm-hmm. So like right now we have 480 round cases of Bellum 7.62 by 39 for $299.
Not terrible. I mean, it's pre-pandemic, the prices were at like all-time lows because the market was booming. Well, the market wasn't booming, the production was booming.
Well, what's crazy, my boy RWG was in Florida last week. He saw the exact same box of ammo for $3.99 in the store in Florida.
Absolutely. The prices, we have a lot. I don't know how the population, we probably have more shooters here than Tennessee just because Florida's super populated, and prices because of that. Ammo's hard to come by. When you do get it, prices are 9mm going for 80 cents a round, which is pure craziness. When a year and a half ago, you could get 5.56 for 30 cents around, 25 cents around sometimes.
Yeah. Hootie Who came in the shop a few weeks ago, and he had been going all around town looking for ammo. And he came in the shop, and I didn't even know he was in there. I didn't see him when he came in, and I was doing something else, and I heard him talk, and I was like, that sounds like Hootie Who. Like, I turned around, and he's just towering over me. I'm like, damn, dude, tall as hell.
Yeah.
But he bought like $400 worth of ammo for a video he was fixing to do.
When you're balling like they are, how many? He's well into. He hasn't hit 1 million, has he?
No, he's at like 125.
Man, one day.
Man, you're at like 24, 25 yourself.
Yeah, he's 171. He's doing fine. He's doing all right.
171, so he's done gained another like 50 something subs.
Have you followed the crazy rise of Brandon Herrera?
No.
You know who he is? The guy that was doing the 50?
The AK guy.
Yeah. He went from 20,000 to like 120,000 to now he's at like 1.12 million.
What?
His rise has just been straight up. It's insane. I don't know what they're doing. Whatever that team is doing to get views, it's absolutely working.
Damn, Brandon.
I know. I have no idea.
Damn. I don't know though. He does get a lot of shout outs from your boy Demo Ranch.
It would be really nice if I could get one of those, but yeah, it helps when you have somebody at 10 million saying, "Hey, go check out this channel."
Yeah, I know, right? Especially when that person at 10 million has 2 channels at almost 10 million.
Can you imagine how much money that dude's making?
Well, I mean, the Demo Ranch channel is basically demonetized at this point. So he's basically making his money off the ranch.
Have you ever seen his card? If you want to send me a gun and I'll do a video on it, have you ever seen what the price of that is? Have you ever heard?
It's probably like 20 bands a video, probably 20,000.
You're right. It's more than that. It's more than that, but you're not far.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
That's insane. And people are paying it. Obviously, if he's still getting sponsored content, people are absolutely paying it.
Man, have you seen the mansion he's working on?
One day. That's all I can say. I look at Marley and I'm like, one day we'll be there. Don't worry. All this random crap that I'm buying and doing videos on, it'll work one day. Don't worry.
I was thinking about when I was on Hank's podcast, and you were talking about that CNC machine. And I was like, man, if he gets that, we're gonna have to do some business.
I'm on the verge. I'm not quite there yet. I've been doing pretty good on manual milling. I need to buy some more. I need to buy some more material actually. So I bought a year, 2 years ago. I bought a manual lathe. Walter gave me an old milling machine, and then I bought his old welder. So that's what I've been practicing it on. It's all old tools. My lathe is finally, it's not broken even yet, but I've probably off of making some stuff for people. I make just a simple little jig for the MP5, things like that. I probably made $200-300 off of it, it feels really good when it's like I'm turning raw material into thing and then selling it to somebody. It's kind of cool.
Right.
But no, CNC is the way to go. No doubt, if I ever got a CNC, man, I would be making all sorts of stuff. It's just, do I want to drop? It's like $25,000 to get a nice CNC. Do I really want to drop that?
Think about what we're going through. Is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the post Sandy Hook boom that the AR-15 had though?
Right.
Remember that they had a huge boom where everybody and their mother was making AR-15s, and then the market, Trump got elected and the market crashed, and tons of those little companies went out of business because they started during a boom. So you always got to be careful of that.
Well, didn't nobody say anything about you having to start a company?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to sell. I don't need to sell full time as like my full time business. I just make a little bit on the side. Yeah, have some fun.
Yep. Now you're thinking.
Do you have a side hustle?
Actually, I work full time. Then I work at the shop part time.
Oh, so the shop's not your full time. That's just your side gig.
Yeah, it was full time.
Okay.
And then these people reached out to me and made me an offer. It was kind of hard to refuse.
Good.
So I took that, and so I've been doing that full time, and it's working from home. And
how long you been doing that?
Actually, I'm about 4 weeks in.
How have you adjusted to it?
I've worked from home before, so it doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, no, I the company I work for now, I work for a Google subsidiary, and the company's always been work from home. Moving from an office job to a work from home job took some adjusting for me because it's tough. It can be tough.
I used to work from home for Enterprise Rent a Car. I worked at
Oh,
home for another company too.
oh, so yeah, you're used to it. You're totally used to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, okay. No, so
Yeah,
you're
man.
you're right back in the saddle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's great being able to just roll out the bed and then just walk over to my desk.
I have
And
a
log in.
I have a meeting. I already know it's on my calendar for 8:30 on Monday morning, East Coast
Right.
time. And I can still get out of bed at like 7:55, get some coffee, and as long as I have a shirt and my hair looks good, nobody will know any different. You won't see me from here down, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, yep. It's great, man. And I just when I came on the podcast, I was actually in the process of getting that guy ready to go.
Yeah, okay. I remember that one.
So when right after that, COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
So that put the brakes on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, it's time to start moving on that again. I'm ready to get that thing done.
Yeah. I COVID, it feels like the last year has just stopped. Like for the last year, it feels like things have just stopped. It's weird. Like we sometimes we'll reference things. We had a friend of mine was working for my old company, and his wife and his kid were still in Tampa, so he would drive up, work for the week, drive home. He was staying with Marley and I, and we were talking about like anytime we reference something, I'm like, was that before COVID? No, that was before COVID. That was like a year and a half ago. That feels like forever ago, but it seems like time just kind of stopped and it just went on without us.
Yeah, it did, man, and it kind of sucks because a lot of people lost a lot of stuff during that.
Yes,
And,
yeah. If you had a bunch of money, you could pick up guns at the
right.
beginning of COVID. But for the
Right.
regular old Joe, people were selling off, trying to keep money in the bank.
But see, for me, I've kind of look at things a little different. So like when Bitcoin first hit the market back in 07, you could have got a coin for a nickel. And now they're worth like 60 grand.
Don't tell me about it. I have my story about Bitcoin back in 2013, 2012 or 2013 is when that was when it had its first big spike up to $300. It was like $335 a coin. And a bunch of guys, I was working for a tech company at the time called Groove Shark, which was kind of like a Spotify competitor here in Gainesville. And a bunch, it was, college age tech kids all working together. And a bunch of them were like, I'm getting Bitcoins. I'm getting into Bitcoins. And I was making like 12 grand a year, which, right out of college, making 12 grand. But I was like, I got food, I got housing. I can't go $300 for a coin. Are you fucking serious? I can't buy that. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I could have bought so many freaking coins. I would be, oh my God, I'd be loaded right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, man, I'm like, okay, so when Bitcoin first came out, I had bought a few, and at the time I was like, this stuff's never going to do. I don't even know what the hell this is.
Yep.
And I had the little app, and I bought a few, and you had to have this complicated ass wallet.
It was a pain in the ass.
This damn password. I'm like, man, whatever. So I ended up losing that fucking wallet thing or whatever, that app, and I don't even know what it was no more. And so now I sit there and I look, and I'm like, shit. The hell is that thing?
That is, if you could find it, if you ever found that wallet out there, you have like 100 grand sitting on the internet somewhere.
No, it's more than that.
Oh, you need to start digging.
Man, I went back because it used to be like with Google. If you ever download an app, you always had access to that app.
Yep.
So this was early Google years because Google came out. Actually, it wasn't even 07. It had to be like 08 because Android just came out in 08, and I had an Android phone, and so I have no idea that I guess having access to your old apps didn't exist at that time.
No, yeah, that probably wasn't
a thing yet. So I have no way of knowing what app it was. I wouldn't even remember what the login was for it.
You have like 200-300 grand floating out on the internet somewhere. That there's a lot of that though. There's a lot of coin that just I know of somebody that had at least 2 coins, 2 whole Bitcoin that he bought when they were like $300 a piece. and his hard drive crashed and he lost him because the hard drive went under. He didn't keep it off on a third party area. He kept it local only. He kept his wallet local only. And he lost those few coins. And now looking back at it, I mean, even then that was only a couple $100 gone, but now you're like, it's 120 grand. I could have just turned that nothing into 120 grand.
Well, I'm not making that same mistake with Dogecoin because I have a feeling this is about to be the next Bitcoin. I've got
You think so?
I got 150 Dogecoin.
What are they looking at right now?
They keep bouncing between 20 cents and 35 cents. They keep bouncing right in that little range.
You could make some money off that. You could definitely.
Yeah, so
they're up right now. Let's see. This is to 1 day market. Let's go for 1 month. Oh, they're way up. Back at the beginning of April, they were half a penny.
Yeah, and now they're like 30-something cents.
Damn! Holy crap!
Yeah, so I'm just sitting on them, chilling, relaxing.
That's the way you got to play those. You gotta play them slow.
Yeah, and I bought them in safe places, so I'm not worried about them. I bought
you
50 on Robin. Yeah, I bought 50 on Robinhood and 50 on Binance US. Well, about 100 on Binance.
They went down to 20 cents on the 22nd. 2 days ago, they were down to 20
That's
cents.
when I bought the 100 on Binance.
Good on you, because you've already made money. They're 20. You've already made 7 cents a coin.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna do all right, especially if they spike again. The last big spike was 43 cents. That doubling your money ain't too bad.
Yeah. And so I'm just gonna sit on them, man.
There's so many of those out there. What's the other one? Ethereum or something?
Yeah, I heard Ethereum was supposed to be a good one to get into.
That's another one that's up and down though, and I feel like you've kind of already missed the train on that. I feel like I've missed the train on that. Oh man, they're already up to $1,600 a coin. Damn, they're high.
Yeah.
And again, that was when all the coin stuff was going on. You could have bought coins for, I don't know, pennies on the dollar, and now they're worth $2,500.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll be a millionaire off a coin.
Yeah. That's why I was like, when I started hearing everybody talking about Dogecoin, I was like, you know, I got to get in on this. I'm not going to do what I did with Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, Bitcoin's a finicky thing though, because half of the people want Bitcoin to become a really usable thing where you can like pay for stuff with it.
Well,
then the other, you can, but the other half is like, it's just a speculative market and the prices they swing so fast. It's like, I don't want to be spending something. I don't want to go to dinner, say it's going to be $20 worth of Bitcoin. I leave and they're like, okay, now that's actually $36 worth of Bitcoin. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, because Bitcoin, man, it'll be like 36,000. Then like an hour later, it might be 60.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is, man.
Delray Dan says XRP, Digibyte, and Ethereum is where it's at. I don't know any. The only one I know is Ethereum. XRP,
Digibyte, and Ethereum. Look, Delray, I've been telling you to hit me up on. I don't think he got an Instagram. Look, I'm gonna put my email address in the chat, Delray Dan. I need you to hit me up, man. Delray got money, man. He down there with you in Florida.
Then you got some money. You might as well put some in coin. It'll. You never know.
Yeah, man. How's everybody in Florida? How's your pops doing? I know he like the cars and stuff. Are you in the cars?
Me, no. I never was into cars. He's doing great health wise. He had a couple health scares, 5-6 years ago. But he's back on top. He's doing good. I don't dislike cars, but I've always been more into guns than cars, which is probably good because they're cheaper.
How'd you get into guns like that, though?
You know what's funny is I don't fully know the answer. I think I've always kind of liked guns. I remember, so I was a Boy Scout, and I remember going to like summer camps and shooting 22s. I remember in late middle school or early high school, my mom's cousin, who they're the same age, is heavily into guns. And I remember going to the range with him once or twice and doing a little shooting and having a good time. And then after high school, I was in college. I was broke college kid. I didn't have any money. So once I got my first job right out of college, for whatever reason, I had this. My uncle also. That was another thing. My uncle bought a couple guns right at the beginning of college for me, and that got me interested. He bought a Mosin when they were $60 a piece or something like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, back when they were cheap, super cheap. So I wanted a Mosin. Then he built his first Spikes tactical AR because that was like the hot thing at the time. Spikes, everything Spikes.
Gotcha.
So when I first got out of college, I got my first job at Groove Shark. I was actually making money, and I'm like, man, I'm like paying my own bills. I'm making money. I decided I'm gonna build my own gun. I'm gonna build my first gun, and then Sandy Hook hit. So I had like a lower receiver. Sandy Hook hit, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna not build it now, even though prices are. So for what should have cost me like $600 for a Spikes AR, I think I paid like $1,400, little by little, buying parts because that was like crazy. I brand new to the gun world, and I see how people are now because I was brand new to the gun world. I had no idea what the boom was like. Obama was talking about we got to ban everything. People were panicking. I was like, well, I got to get an AR, and of course I spent way too much money. So
yeah, Obama, man, he scared the crap out of everybody.
So I didn't pay attention when he got elected in 2008, but from what I heard, mom and dad both had their concealed carries going back all the way through to like 2004, 2003. From what they told me, in 2008, I graduated. I'm going to age myself, how young I am. I graduated high school in 2007. 2008, he got into office, and from what I was told, ammo just first time he got in office, ammo dried up, just was completely gone, and that was kind of the first of the cycle. Before that, guns ammo didn't dry up as bad, other than during the Clinton administration.
Right.
But 2004, things came back because the bill sunsetted. Everybody was buying, guns were prolific. Bush was in office, things were okay. And then Obama came in 2008, shook everything up, and everything went crazy. Got again in 2012, everything went crazy. Sandy Hook 2013, everything was gone. Trump got in finally. Everything calmed back down. The gun world calmed back down. Biden now gets in. Everything's crazy, and who knows what they're going to try to push. So.
Man, I'm not really so much afraid for myself because I know what I have, and I know what he's trying to push, and I know what I'm going to have after he pushes whatever. I'm more worried about people that are coming in new to the firearm game, not being able to get what they need.
Yeah, and people coming in now thinking that 80 cents a round for 9mm is normal. Because it's not. I mean, before the pandemic, you could go on PSA regularly and pick up 1,000 rounds of 9 for like $180. Like that was the norm.
Right. Man, I feel like I think all these manufacturers took this pandemic and this election as an opportunity to set themselves up for the future because they know stuff is going to come back down. And so they went ahead and padded those pockets so they wouldn't have to worry about it.
Did you, were you around the industry at all or into gun media at all during right when Trump got elected?
Yeah.
Everybody expected Clinton to get in, and all of them had the Clinton plan. Everybody had the Hillary Clinton plan. We got to buy more equipment. She's going to come after guns. Prices are going to go up. And then Trump got in, and all of them are like, holy shit, we just bought a bunch of CNCs. We just bought, what the hell do we do? And that's when prices went crashing.
Yeah.
So in one sense, it's good for the industry because money's up, things are up. But on the other sense, it's terrible for the consumer. The worst time for the consumer that I can remember since Sandy Hook.
Yeah, it's kind of like the housing market's the same way. We've been looking to buy a house, and if you're a seller, you're golden. People will offer you like 10 grand over what your asking price is just so they can guarantee a win in the bid. But for people like me looking for a house, I'm trying to stay here, and all the houses that should be here are up here.
Here in Gainesville, prices are still they're still fairly reasonable. We bought a house that backs up to, I say it backs up to a lake. We don't actually back up directly to a lake. It's kind of a swampy little marsh and then a lake. Mm-hmm. We paid $160. Ours is like 2,000 square feet, 2-story house. with water behind us, and we have behind that is like 100,000 acres of woods on this end of the city. We paid $160, which was a crazy good deal. And that was 5 or 6 years ago. That was when Trump got elected. Things were down. Prices were all on the decline.
Right.
The last time I looked, our house was estimated at like, mind you, we paid $160. We were expected at like $240, $260. Yeah. Like the number is way beyond what it reasonably should be.
See, that's like the house that I had when me and my ex-wife, when we divorced, end up selling the house. We bought the house for $123. And it was 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a bonus room upstairs, 2-car garage, privacy fence backyard.
Yeah, nice house.
Nice house, 1,700 square feet, nice neighborhood. Sold it for like $128 just to get rid of it. And then now that same house is like $256.
Yes, yeah, $128 is nothing. That's nothing.
Just sold it in 2017, and here it is, 2021, and it's worth the double.
So you probably have a better thumb on this pulse than I do, being that I was raised by upper middle class white family. So what it says is like black people went out big time for Biden, thinking that, I don't know, racial justice would come up, right. Reparations might happen, all sorts of stuff, which obviously none of that shit's going to happen. Right. Do you think, have you heard from black people specifically saying like, what the fuck, what happened?
It's funny because I never planned on voting for that jerk anyway.
Because, I mean, I vote guns. Everybody knows that, so it's hard to say for me. I would never vote for him.
I don't particularly vote gun. I do have, that has a heavy influence on how I vote. But I also look at your track record.
Yeah, you should. Which you should. Yeah. And
Biden has a nasty track record with black people, and so does Kamala Harris.
Yes, she put so many people in jail for weed, and then laughed about like,
oh yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And so. All the people are like, oh, well, Biden gets it. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And then when he got in, I'm like,
he ain't doing shit.
What that stuff that you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't done nothing.
Did you see the official BLM Twitter the other day came out against Biden? I was shocked, saying like, oh, Biden is not going to help with race relations. It's like, he never was going to anyways.
Did you, when Biden when he was going through the campaign phase, they was all about BLM. They was all talking, hanging out.
Best friends.
Hey, how you doing? So soon as he won the election, BLM was like, hey, we can't get in touch with them. They won't call us back. No shit.
You know what's funny is people who have been around politics for more than just out of college understand that this is how it works. You've been lied to. You've gotten got. They got you.
Man,
but BLMers are all high school / freshman young college kids who are idealists who don't realize that they're using you. You're being used for an election. That's it.
Right. When Lyndon B. Johnson made that comment, I'll have them ends voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Yep.
And he passed the bill that he called the N bill. I'm not saying the word, but he passed that bill. And basically all they were doing was like, all right, we're going to give them this. This will pacify them and shut them up. And we'll just keep doing what we want to do. And they've always made promises to us over these years that they've never kept, but people still keep voting for them.
I don't understand it. And I don't know that Republicans are better for black people. I can't say that because I have no idea. but on the, you have, in one sense, it's like you have a group that's been lying to you for like 50 or 60 years, 70 years.
Shit, longer than that.
Yeah. And you have another group. Well, I mean, unemployment was down. Black employment was up. Hispanic employment was up under Trump. There was something that got into the media and the left side's craw that they just couldn't get over Trump getting elected. I don't know what it was exactly, but they just couldn't get over it.
Well, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Joe Biden either. I voted in the middle. I voted for Kanye.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is he getting a divorce now? Is Kim leaving him?
I don't know. I don't know. But I felt like I didn't like Biden. I mean, you created a bill. It was called the Biden bill, and then Clinton backed it, and you guys changed the name to the '94 crime bill. But originally, it was called the Biden bill.
Was it really?
Yeah, that was the original name of it. And so when you write a bill like that disproportionately affects my people, and then you get this woman over here who couldn't even hold her own state and had to pull out of the presidential race. Now all of a sudden she's running for your VP because you already know if you don't have somebody black on your side, you're not going to win this election. So they get her, and which I don't know why anybody would want her in office, because she used the bill that he wrote to lock up like a couple of thousand of us for petty ass charges.
Petty crimes, not even bullshit crimes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, dude, I don't want you in office. And Trump, I just don't like him. I didn't like him before he became president.
He's not a likable personality. He's not a likable person. I can agree with that. He's a very unlikable character. He's very brash. Is that the right word? I don't know. He's very he's not a likable character. So yeah, I can see why a lot of people would dislike him. Delray Dan, I agree with. They're just trying to divide us right now. Right. I think it's kind of a shame, because I think groups like BLM are falling for it. I feel like they're just pawns in a bigger scheme to keep people on edge and divided, so we don't get along against the real enemy, which obviously is big government.
What Defense Dad just said right there, when Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black, should have been a red flag for a lot of people. Exactly.
But the guy that was interviewing him, I can't remember his name.
Charlamagne the God.
Yeah, Charlamagne the God was doing the interview. You could see in the back of his head that it took him back, and he was like, but he didn't react to it, and he didn't say a word about it.
And that's unlike Charlamagne.
I know, he just went right along with it, which is weird.
Yeah, because I would have been like, what's the hell is that supposed to mean? Because, and see what it is, Democrats have gotten comfortable in a place where they automatically assume
they're going to get
they have the black vote.
Yep.
And so they know, well, we can tell them we're going to turn the sky purple and paint the White House black. They're going to believe it. They're going to vote for us, and we're not going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they run off of. They already go into an election knowing, oh, we got the black and brown vote automatically. Mm-hmm. That's how their brain works. Because they're so used to it.
Yeah, it's just a shame, and I don't know. Nothing I can do. I hate to say it, but I'm not the savior of black people.
Yeah,
I don't even. Looking at my YouTube statistics, I don't think a ton of black people watch me. I would love for it. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you look like, as long as you like building guns. I don't give a rat's ass.
But I'm gonna tell you why a lot of black people probably don't watch you, babyface. It ain't because you white. It's because the average black person right now that's getting into firearms doesn't relate to your channel.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And see, I never want to be the type that panders to try to bring people in. It's like, right. I've always wanted it where I make what I make, and if you're interested in it, you'll find me and you'll enjoy it.
Right.
And I do think people in time, I'm not the channel at the moment. I'm not the channel for new gun owners. I've never really seen myself as that.
Right.
I think in time, when people start getting curious about, how do you build an AK? How do you build an MP5? How do you build an AR? That's when people will find me and go, oh, he's that guy that builds stuff. And then that's when I'll bring people in.
And that's why I love your channel.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I think in time people move into that, though. Like, you start out by going, okay, I need a Glock 19, and then I need a basic AR, and then maybe you'll move into an AK, a Draco, whatever. But after a certain point, you get kind of bored of just owning the same old shit over and over and over again. And a lot of people have that interest of, like, what goes into making it work? Like, how can I make it better? How could I do this? And then that's where I try to hook people into, yeah, we can make one. You're an American. You're a free American. You can make whatever the fuck you want. It's your God-given right. You can go in your garage and make whatever you want. Right. Here's how to do it.
Right. And And that's one thing when I first watched his channel, when you first started, I was like, oh, so he's showing you how to do shit.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
There's this I don't know if it's a sacred cow, but gunsmiths in general don't want to share their knowledge with everyone because it's how they make money. You know, I went to school for X amount of years, a year, to get a gunsmithing degree. I've apprenticed under somebody. I've learned from them. So you don't just want to give that knowledge out for free. But gun making in general, there shouldn't be any big secret about it. They're just machines. It's like going on YouTube and watching how to tear an engine apart. It's all it is a machine. You just need to learn how it works, and you can make improvements to it in a heartbeat. As long as you know how the intricacies work together, you can make all sorts of crazy shit happen with them.
Yeah, me and the gunsmith at school didn't work out too good. I went to SDI, and
did you do the whole thing?
I tried. I tried. That ballistics shit was fucking hard, bro.
So that's part of in all honesty, that's part of my problem with especially online gunsmithing schools. Because you did it online, right?
Right.
What can you learn? Anything that they can teach you online, I could probably teach you, or you could Google yourself when you come to this question and answer it yourself. That's all the knowledge they can impart. They can't teach you how to run a lathe. They can't teach you how to run a mill. They can't teach you, like, this is how to weld. This is your temperatures. You need, like, that's the sort of stuff you have to do and just fuck up a couple times and learn how to do it, break some stuff and get better at it.
Right.
That's always been my issue with online gun schooling specifically, because gunsmithing is not a conceptual thing. It's not like going to an online college where you just read a bunch of papers and take tests. It's, conceptual.
Right.
It's like tangible. You need to be able to use your hands and put two pieces of metal together. You need to know how to turn metal on a lathe. You need to do all that sort of stuff. And they can't teach you that.
Right. And my problem was, like, it wasn't so much the hands-on part of things. I'm more of a hands-on learner.
Mm-hmm. That's how I am. That's exactly how I am.
When you start throwing all these calculations and ballistic numbers out here to me,
it's useless.
I'm like, dude, I don't know. I use Kentucky windage.
That's exactly. It's like, when are you, unless you are engineering for Hornady or one of those companies, when am I realistically going to need to know the ballistic coefficient of this one particular round or this? Like, it doesn't help me when it comes down to turning the lathe on and knowing I need to take 10,000 off here, cut here, and weld. Like, it doesn't help me at all. It's not going to help me in the least.
Right. My boy, a regular gun guy, just jumped in here.
Just left the range, man. He must be West Coast because it is dark as pitch here.
No, he's actually in Chirac.
Where?
Chirac, Chicago.
They have ranges in Chicago.
Oh man, I mess with a man. Tell me, hey, I'm surprised you can even have guns where you live at.
Yeah. That's one place I'd love to visit and eat the food and see the sights, but I don't know if I want to live there.
Man, if you want to watch some funny content, man, check out his channel. My boy here, Trip, man. Matter of fact, this is one of his shirts right here. Door knocker downer. Yeah, that's my guy right there. But
there's so much that you just. I can't say I've apprenticed. I wish I had the time to apprentice. I've been using BW Firearms. He's down in Orlando. I'm sure you've seen him on the show, on Hank's show. He's my wall to bounce stuff off of. Gotcha. So whenever I'm building something, if I really have no idea what I'm doing, first I'll start with Google. I'll see what information I can find on the internet, which internet gunsmithing information is 50-50. Sometimes you'll get something that's gold that somebody will give you like really, really great details on. And a lot of times it's that AK can't shoot straight anyways. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? What are you talking about? But
that didn't help me at all.
Yeah, Richard's been really good because he's the guy I'll call, like, hey, I want to blue this. How was this done? Like, when you went to gunsmithing school, how would you do this? Like, what was the proper way? There's all sorts of stuff that goes into it, like polishing. I can't even show it off. My Python, polishing the Python, that was an art. Getting those things blued, hand fitting those, was an art. That's something I barely touched on.
Well, see, the SDI touches on all that. So they send you a bluing kit, but it's a small little setup.
Yeah.
And then they send you a Hydra dip kit. They send me a nice set of digital calipers. They send me a what is it, Gracie firearms pin and punch kit.
The punches, yep.
Yeah, the hammer and all that stuff. I mean, they send you some really nice stuff to work with. But then they're like, oh, well, to do this Hydra dip kit, you're going to need this big ass tank and you're going to need this and you're going to need that. I'm like, dude, I don't got nowhere for this shit.
Exactly. When I would love to, go to gunsmithing school. Like if I ever had the just raw amount of money, I would take a year off of life and go to like the Pennsylvania Gunsmith School. Like that's the premier on campus school. Mm-hmm. There's no way on earth I can, being the breadwinner, half the breadwinner, there's no way I could take a year off to go to Pennsylvania and go do gunsmithing school for you. It's just impossible.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's you got well, you don't necessarily have a family, but you do have a wife.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to take care of her. Yeah.
We're working on it. Believe me, she wants one of those little bastards running around the house. And I just don't know. I don't know, but I can't say no at this point.
Hey man, but on the bright side, though, at least you know you'll have somewhere to leave all your guns when you leave out.
That's right. Yeah, somebody will get them.
It'll be a little baby face running around.
God forbid I have a daughter who hates guns. Oh Lord, have mercy on me.
No, man, you might get lucky. My daughter likes guns.
There you go.
So you might get one of those.
But being on camp, like doing the on campus gunsmithing school, they have 50 lathes, they have mills, they have hot dip tanks for bluing, they have the aqua, they have everything, so you can physically do the work and be like, oh, this is how it's supposed to work, like this is how it does. Because I can't learn out of a book. I've never been able to. I'm a bad test taker. I've never been able to learn from a book.
Well, with SDI, one thing I did like was, okay, so for your final project, you get to choose between a 1911, an AR-15, or an AR-10.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going through the school, all the stuff they're teaching, you even build a musket loader.
Oh, that's cool. That's real cool.
But the only problem is that the stuff that they teach you in gunsmithing school applies to old-ass guns.
I've heard that before. They BWE was telling me last time he looked through one of the curriculums, they're having you smith stuff on like Remington or Winchester Model 70s and like old shit that nobody shoots anymore. It's just
exactly
useless.
Yeah. And the stuff that they teach you is basically the same type of stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like everything they teach you, like they'll be like, well, this bullet was derived from this bullet in this war, and this and that. I'm like, I really don't give a shit about that.
I don't care. Yeah, I just don't care. I can go look that up on Wikipedia if I really wanted to. I really don't care.
I really don't give a shit about that.
No, how are you going to teach me to make money off of machines and guns? Like, that's what I want to know.
Exactly.
How do I make money? That's all I care.
How do I make this shit go bang if it stops going bang? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Oh, it's not working? Oh, let me figure it out. Yeah, and then pay me for it.
Exactly. And that's all I cared about, man. I didn't care about learning all this other stuff. So I was like, maybe I should have just did the gunsmithing certificate instead of going after the bachelor's or the associates or whatever it was. It was an associates. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe I should have done that instead of going after the associates.
Did you finish, or you ended up finishing it? Mm-hmm. Are you able to go back, or do you have to like pay a whole bunch of money or something?
I can go back, but
it's not. It's hard. It's hard because it's like taking apart firearms and upgrading them. So Hollow Point said, "Yeah, I'm trying to learn the basics of taking apart my firearms and upgrading them." That's the place to start.
Exactly.
So my journey, if you end up going and looking at my channel, you'll see that I'm to the point now where I build like the MP5 that I just finished building. Very difficult gun to build because you have to press it. You have to weld it. It takes a lot of different skills to make it run right. And there's very fine tolerances to some of the parts. But I started out I have a mechanical mind is the first thing I tell people. Do you have the type of mind where do you want to problem solve? You have to be the type that likes problem solving. Do you have a mechanically sound mind where you like to think through like the mechanics of stuff? Like, so my dad is a longtime mechanic. He started fixing cars when he was like 13. So I think, honestly, I think part of it's in my blood. Fixing shit's just kind of in my blood because that's what he did. And going back, like my grandfather's worked on farms, and my other grandfather was a mechanic going back to the 40s. Like it's really like ingrained in me.
Right.
So you have to have a mechanical mind, and then you just have to do. That's what I found is I just started out by looking and saying like, okay, here's an AR-15. How the hell does this work? Like, what makes it work?
Right.
Take it apart, look at it, figure out how it goes back together. You want a real challenge? If you're a new gun guy, take a 1911 completely down and then try to put it back together.
Oh, hell no.
If you've never done it before, that is a hell of a challenge.
You know what scared me? When they told me to pick from an AR-15, AR-10, or 1911 for my final project, I went and watched YouTube videos on 1911. And
complex.
Man, this dude pulled out this damn build kit for this 1911. And he's like, oh, here's this. And he just started pulling out all these little bitty ass bags. And there was like 40, 50 little bags on the table. I'm like, man, fuck that gun.
Not only that, but there are parts. So when you get a raw frame for it, I'm actually thinking about doing a 1911, like a full 1911 build, where all I have is a frame, and then we do all the other hand fitting. Because there's a difference between building a 1911, that's just your run-of-the-mill 1911, and really, really hand fitting a 1911 with a file and sandpaper and smoothing your edges, grounding your corners, things like that.
And the ones that SDI sends you have to drill out everything.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the real shit. That is the real deal.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it's not... ARs are simple. They're everything is made so perfectly these days on a CNC that you just slap a bunch of shit together, and most of the time it's going to work all right.
Yeah.
But no, 1911s they're clock-esque. You can make a shitty 1911 and it'll still run all right, but getting that we were talking the other night about this, the difference between, like, I have an old Series 70 Colt that like wiggles and rattles. It works fine. It works perfect. And I'm not complaining, but the difference between something like that, a production Colt 1911, and like the Cabot guns is that like 2%, because the Colt will get you 98% of the way there. It shoots fine. That 2%, the 2% of like hand fitting, rounding all the corners, making all the edges smooth, like that is what adds the money on top of your 1911.
What is he said, Big Dre, if you're wanting a cool 1911, look at Cosine Arms. I've never heard of them.
I've not heard of them.
I've never heard of them. Yeah, I think I want a 1911, but I just won't want to say I have one in the collection.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't hardly ever shoot it.
That's how I am. I have a Series 70. I never shoot, but I have it.
Yeah. I just won't want to say I have one. You know, there's certain guns I want just to be able to say I have it.
I want a Deagle. I want a Deagle just to be like, yeah, I got a gold-plated Deagle. Don't worry about it.
Man, you should have hollered at me, man. We had like 3 or 4 of them at the shop.
Oh, man, I want a... It's one of those ones that I have no reason to want a Deagle, but fuck it, I want a Deagle. I want a 50 cal. I don't know why.
Yeah, we had the Deagle, the gold one with the tiger stripes.
That's as ghetto as that might be, that's what I want. I would love to have one. I don't even care. Yeah, we had that junkie at the shop, man. We had one on the rental wall for a while. And to see how many people about debrained themselves. Oh,
man, man, one night we had this guy come in, and it was funny as hell. It was him, his wife, and his in-laws. And his father-in-law had to be pushing 70 hard, bro. This dude was like he was like a year away from being Skeletor. You know what I'm saying?
And they put the Deagle in his hands?
Nah, bro. This dude had a short barrel Smith & Wesson 500.
Fuck off.
Dude, watching the video replay of that shit on the security camera, I was like, man.
He almost lobotomized himself right here.
Man, he was literally about that far away from that front sight smacking him in the forehead, dude. I was like, shit.
This 500 Smith & Wesson lobotomy, where you just you become very placid after that.
Yo, that damn 500, man, that thing's a beast, bro.
Jeez, I've never shot one. I've always wanted to, never have.
Man, this guy, like, he was standing, he would fire around, boom.
Oh yeah.
And people like 2 or 3 bases down, you see him lean back, like, what the fuck was that?
Oh man.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. So, what is your favorite gun? What is your favorite gun? Period. Even if you don't have it, what is your favorite gun?
I can tell you my dream gun. My dream gun is an MP5, a full auto MP5 Navy, the 4 selector. So safe, semi, 3-round burst, and full auto. That's a dream gun. I think those are going for like $40K right now. And
right.
one day. Beyond that, man, it's so hard to pin that down because I like so many. And I have a lot of things I like. I have my MP5. I have a Colt Python. If anybody out there has never shot a Colt Python, an original like 60s or 70s Colt Python that was completely hand fitted, they are unbelievable. Oh, they're so smooth. I have a crank. I love my crank. 545 is my jam. Shit. See, the problem is,
you don't really have just one favorite. You have a lot of favorites.
The MP5. The MP5 is my favorite. I want a full auto MP5. I've always, funny story is when I bought the parts kit for the AK, the side folder, AKS-74U, the crank. Mm-hmm. I actually wanted to build an MP5. I had already built two AKs. No, one AK. I had already built one AK and I had all the tools.
Right.
And then I looked at the MP5 build process and I was like, holy shit, I don't have a TIG welder. I had built my first AK in an apartment on carpet. Marley would come home from work and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, don't worry about it. I'm building an AK. It's not a big deal.
Is Marley in the guns?
You know what's funny? Not even in the least.
Really?
She doesn't mind them. She carries. She has her concealed carry. She's got a pretty blue, robin's egg blue Glock 43. But every time I try to ask her to go to the range, she's like, no, not really. No thanks. I'm like, but obviously, I'll show you the other wall over here in the dark. There you go. You can see the pile. So there's the M16 we built. There's an M1 Garand. There's a 1903 Springfield we just finished. My original AK is back behind that 1022. So obviously she doesn't mind them being around. She's not much of a shooter, unfortunately. And it's a shame because she outshoots me. She's a better shooter than I am.
And it's usually how it works.
Women are always better. Women are always better shots than men when you first take them out.
My man said, do you have a high point?
Hell yeah. I got 2. I got a high point 9mm pistol and a high point 995 carbine.
So I know y'all are cool with the high point guys. They on y'all show all the time.
Dave sent me the 2 that I have. Otherwise I didn't. I wouldn't have bought them per se.
Man, look, tell them to come on with the YC9, man. Why they holding out on the Yeet cannon?
I see. We asked him last time he was on. We're like, "Where's that at?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just been busy. We've been busy with other things." Supposedly, they can't keep those things they can't keep them in stock. They're moving so fast right now. He told me back in the beginning of January when I hit 10K subs, he was like, "Oh, I'll send you a high point." And like a month later, he was like, "I'm sorry, I haven't sent anything. I can't get one. I can't get my hands on them because the guns are flowing out so fast."
Yeah, I believe it because we have a lot of them coming through the shop.
And they're priced right. They're ugly as sin, but they're priced right. And from everything I've tried, they work. They work. The 9, the pistol, it just doesn't feel good. I don't like it. Works, and I can't shit on it because it doesn't work. It's just ugly and top heavy. The carbine, on the other hand, that thing is pretty awesome. I think I put up my video last week was putting up some Long Shot Manufacturing sent me some additions for the C9, the 995 carbine. And I actually just went and test fired it today with all the stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's a good gun. It's kind of ugly, but it's a really good 9mm carbine. It really works well.
Who is it? Is it Franklin Armory that makes that bullpup style chassis for it?
Hightower.
Hightower.
Walter has one. I thought about getting one because that is the coolest way to have one.
Yeah.
They're really good though. Those Hightower Armory kits, having shot Walters, it feels substantial in your hands. It doesn't feel like a toy. It doesn't feel like plastic. Like it feels really good when you shoulder that thing.
Yeah, because my man R Double G, he has one. I think his is a 40 cal. He calls it his hammer. And
40 cal.
so now, do you say the world came to an end, and the only thing you can...
I already have my plans.
All right, what you got?
No, what were you gonna ask?
No, if you only have one gun that you could take out of your entire collection, what would it be?
Do I have to take? Can I take my ammo with me? I can grab a bunch of ammo and take it too.
Yeah.
Suppress 1022. Hands down, suppress 1022.
Really? Because you can carry more ammo.
I can carry a shitload of ammo. I can put ammo down my... If I had to, I could dump ammo in my underwear and carry it. A suppress 1022 is stupid quiet. If you had to take out sentries or zombies or whatever, nobody would even know you're shooting because they're so quiet. Ammo is easy to... I can carry a shitload of ammo. They're lightweight. I have a bunch of magazines. They work really well even when they're dirty. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do a big caliber. I wouldn't be the type that would be frontally assaulting a city or a police depot to get food and ammo. Like, we're going in at night. We're doing it very quietly. We're taking out who we need to take out. We'll grab what we need, and then we're leaving. Like, I'm not going in guns a-blazing during the day.
yeah, you kind of like me.
Actually, I like low profile.
I'm just gonna wait till I catch my neighbor slipping.
See, that's what I was saying. I was like, if I need something, the funny thing is back when people were hoarding toilet paper back, March of last year, I was like, shit, if I need toilet paper bad enough, if the world really comes to an end and I need toilet paper, I got plenty of it. I'll just go to that house. I'll just get toilet paper I need. Oh, you got food too? I got food.
Yeah, I was, I'll be talking to people about emergency food, making sure you got some emergency food because I got a few buckets of emergency food in there.
People, it's funny because if you talk about it from a zombie preparedness, people think it's all funny. But if you think about it in a real life situation here in Florida for us, I always bring up the fact, like, when people are like, what do you need all that? What do you need that for? It's like, we have hurricanes that come through in November every year. Every year we have hurricanes that blow through here. Some people lose power for a day. Some people lose power for 2 weeks. Right. You need to have something put away where you can feed yourself, even if it's just some PB&J, some beans, some rice, whatever. You need to have something because that stuff happens. Katrina, it's rare, but Katrina happens. Like, that's a realistic scenario that you can find yourself in. And then, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just to say, then you have situations like Katrina where your neighbors start going a little feral, and you need to keep them off your front porch. So that's where the guns come into play, and the medical and all the other stuff. Like, there's a whole bunch that goes into it. That isn't just for zombies. It's Twinkies and Spam for emergency food. But yeah, no, people like to think of it from the Hollywood aspect, but it's like power outages happen all the time. The gas lines go down. How are you going to cook? What sort of food do you have in your pantry? Right now, we probably don't have enough. I have a couple cans of soup, a little bit of, small stuff. Like, we really need to stock back up.
Right. Well, we got enough food in the pantry and in the freezer and the fridge and stuff to hold us down for a few weeks. Yeah. And then I got some emergency food in there.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people are so used to going to McDonald's or having dinner at the sushi place. Like Marley and I haven't cooked at home in probably 2 weeks because we've just gotten so comfortable. Like, we're busy. Let's just go get dinner somewhere instead of me cooking. But the pandemic was a big surprise for a lot of people. I think you look at like New Yorkers who are completely used to the city providing everything they need 24/7. Pandemic had everything closed down, and people were like, "Oh my God, what do I do to feed myself?" It's like, I don't know. You'll figure it out. Humans have been doing it for the better part of 50,000 years. You'll figure it out.
Right. And I don't think people think about. All right, so I keep most of my rifles and stuff bagged up with loaded magazines already in them, and I have
load your magazine.
a big Pelican case with like 20, 30 mags. Already loaded, ready to go.
An empty mag is useless.
Right.
You're not going to sit there. Hold on. I got to load the magazine.
Right.
Like, no.
So if something happened and we had to go, I could actually grab like 3 rifle bags full of guns and ammo, and just run out the door and be gone.
If it was a real serious situation, I'd like to have an AR, just because it's got a little more ass kick to it. Realistically, if we were cut off from food and water and whatnot, 1022, my neighborhood has so fucking many squirrels in this neighborhood, we could eat like kings for a couple weeks. We got fish in the lake in the back. We got gators. If you're good enough, you can take out a turkey or a deer with a 22. You just gotta aim right. But yeah, people don't think through serious emergencies that happen. They're common. They will happen again. Like, your power will go out again in your lifetime. Get ready.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And where we're at, we're close. There's literally, if I drive down the street and out of the neighborhood, there's a school and a big ass huge park.
Mm-hmm.
So with that comes a plethora of animals. We have deer that hang out over here by my house. I can walk out the front door sometime at night, and there's like 12 or 13 just sitting out there looking at me like, what's up?
People don't think about a deer in the freezer or whatever icebox, whatever you got, that'll feed you for a long time. A lot of meat.
Hell yeah, it's a lot of meat. Hell yeah.
That's one thing I've never done. I've never gone hunting, and I've never cleaned and cooked my own meal. And I feel like that's something I need to do. Like, I've never killed anything. I've never actually gone out, other than, fire ants and lizards. I've never actually like really killed something and then turned it into meat and then eaten that meat. And I really, really want to.
My man, what's up, is saying, I always hear that keeping mags loaded is bad for the springs. I don't know how true that is, but
not true.
Yeah, it's not true. And I keep on my mag pool mags, my P mags, I have the little caps on the top that takes the pressure off.
That's good for the feed lips. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. If you have those caps, that'll help save your feed lips. I download all of mine to 28. I don't know why. It's like superstition. I think it adds a little bit less pressure on it. And those 2 rounds, God forbid, if I need 2 rounds to finish a fight, I'm fucked anyways.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But no, what mechanically, what hurts springs is use. Extensions, retraction. So,
man.
Springs are they're going to wear out. Just get used to it. Get ready for it. You can buy those right now easily.
Nice.
Hey, you got $5. Look at that.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for that. RGG said, keep grinding, bro. Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. I stumbled up on him a couple months ago and didn't realize that he was already following me, and he hadn't even started his channel yet.
Nice.
And
he's doing pretty good. I saw him. He's at like 3,000 subs. He's not doing bad.
Yeah, he just started his channel like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
How the you guys?
I'll tell you another one. There's another one we'll talk about in a minute. But that guy, man, he's a real cool dude, man. Real cool dude.
Defense Dad says, Babyface P, why not a lightweight M4 carbine style AR and add a 22 conversion so you have more caliber variety? The only 22 AR I've ever found that works really well is the M&P 1522. I have one in the safe that isn't actually mine. That's just a loaner that I've had for like 5 years now. They function fine. The conversion units that you put on top of even the whole, like even if you bought a dedicated upper, they're finicky. Getting mags that work is finicky. Where with the 1022, they're really, really reliable. A 1022 is kind of the AR or the AK of the 22 world. They just run. So that's my thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just I'm an AR guy, man.
They're good. They do everything so well. I didn't know. You see my Instagram post today. I did I finally upgraded my AR upper, my SBR upper, to a URGI. Have you seen the URGIs? It's a new the URGI is the upper receiver group in something. So the new SOCOM upper that they're slapping on their M4s is called the URGI. It's got a Geisley Mark 16 rail, 14.5-inch annual defense barrel. I finally my SBR kind of goes through cycles where I'll upgrade something here, upgrade something there. I finally got rid of it. Was running. I wish I don't have it sitting around me. It was running a Daniel Defense light rail, which is a little 7-inch rail, and an A2 front sight post for the last 6 years. and I put an ACOG on it and was like, shit, that it's right in the way of my ACOG. Yeah, I see that. I was just curious. I run the CMMG conversion kits in my airs, and well, this is actually what I have in the pack ready to go. If you have one that works, count your lucky stars, because they're notorious for being very finicky. Try, just out of curiosity, try running it with subsonic ammo and see if it works. Those CMMGs tend to not work very well for that, where the 1022, you run it with subs, super quiet, and it's still pretty reliable. M6 Scout, funny story. If you go on my channel, I actually own an M6 Scout rifle. I did a video on it a long time ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I got mine chopped down from its original length. I do like that gun, actually. Now that I think about it, it's a pretty good gun. Have you seen the M6 Scout?
No.
So it's an over-under. It's a product of the Cold War. It came out around the 60s, and it was stowed. It was a gun that was stowed for pilots. And it's a break in half 22 top barrel 410 shotgun bottom barrel. So you have enough firepower to take down a deer with a 410 slug or buckshot, and then you got nice 22 on top.
Oh, yeah, I have seen this.
Really cool
this
gun.
Right here.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
So the originals, when they made them for the military, because the military doesn't give a crap about the NFA, they were 14-inch guns. So it's a 14-inch over under. It folds up to like this big. Super, super cool. So I had Safety Harbor Firearms chop mine down for me. So get this, for anybody that's not in the NFA game, get this. To what's called Form 1ing. So if I wanted to create my own NFA weapon, it's $200. So it's a $200 tax stamp.
And you only wait like a month and a half, 2 months.
Not too bad. It wasn't too bad. If I gave it to Walter, because he's an SOT, and I had him chop it for me, because it's not a rifle and it's not a shotgun, it's both, it doesn't count as either. It counts as an AOW in any other weapon. So he could transfer it back to me for $5 instead of $200. So I sent it to Walter. He papered it for me. So he put it on his books and papered it. He serialized it, Safety Harbor Firearms. And then when the paperwork came in, I went over there. We chopped it, put it back together, and $5 transfer, and it's done. It was awesome. Beat that $200 crap out of the water.
And see, that's one thing I respect about y'all, man, because Hank's an FFL.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got SOT. Walter. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an SOT too.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I was looking at. I was going to get my FFL with I was going to get a Type 7 with an SOT.
You should do it.
And that's I suppose I already have done it, but I keep dragging my feet because I've been watching what's going on with this whole Biden thing. So I'm like, when I get ready to do it, then I back off and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait. But I want to go ahead and do it.
It's not that expensive.
Yeah, it's only like $200-300.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But my thing was I didn't want to do it and then have to deal with this political bullshit.
The ATF, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't really want the headache of dealing with them jackasses, man.
I completely understand. I totally feel for you. I haven't done it yet. I want to. I want to get my FFL. I would love to get a manufacturing license. It's
Type 7.
Yeah, Type 7. I think if you want the Type 7 as well, it's like a total of like $500 a year. It's really, realistically, it's really not that bad. And you don't get taxed if you do less than 50 items a year. Right.
I heard Walter saying that on the podcast.
Yeah, you build 49 guns and then you change it over. It's no longer the BFP5, it's the BFP6. And then we do 49 more of those.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the way Walter explained it, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't matter whether you roll it over to a different model or not.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So it's 49 individual serial numbers.
Yeah.
And then, so the stupid thing is once you hit 50, it's not, you don't then get taxed on 50, 51, and 52. You get taxed on all 49 that you've already done, plus anything moving forward. So it's like, why would I ever make more than 50 guns a year? There's no way. I'm not going to do
that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't decided what I want to do yet.
You gotta. It's gotta be right for you. I will do it eventually. The hardest thing for me is finding, living in an area where I can do it, like have a shop or a garage or something.
Right.
Because our HOA right now has and it's a very small HOA. It's not like a really over the top one. But even in that, it's like cannot run a business out of your home. So.
Man, this dude here, Big Dre, need an iPhone. No, I don't. I don't need an iPhone. No, I don't need an iPhone. He gives me hell about this iPhone stuff, man. You just need to focus on that internet bill and make sure that signal stays strong. That's what you do.
Oh man, but yeah, you got to decide. It has to be right for you.
Look at this dude right here. Look at what's up.
Anyone really believe that a clown that hid in a baby? Do we get shut down for conspiracy theories now? I can't.
Man, I don't know, man.
How many votes did Clinton get? Like 55 million? And, and Biden is the most popular voted in president ever? Really?
Right.
Really?
You're right.
You can't talk about that. It's conspiracies.
So, is there any questions that anybody has for Babyface while he's here?
Yeah, no, and don't feel bad if anybody needs to get in contact with me. I check all the comments on my videos, so I do read through that. And Patrick@babyfaceP.com. If anybody ever needs anything, I have a machine shop. I build stuff, so I can always help. I've done barrel threading now for a couple of customers, which has been awesome. Shit. Yeah, that was the other one. I made a couple $100 off of some threaded barrels. Guy was real happy. I had some 1022s. He wanted them chopped, like I have, chopped to 16 and threaded out half 28. Did that.
Okay. So you get into the barrel game, Babyface?
I'm getting into the whatever makes me money game.
Yeah. As long as it's legal, right?
Yeah, sure. Let's say that. Yeah. No, ATF. I'm completely legit. Don't come kicking in my door.
Man, I'm gonna be looking up. You're gonna be like one of those streamers that got their house raided while they were.
I know. Yeah, no knock raid. Peanut says, "What's a good scope for an AR-15 up to 300 yards?" Do you have an opinion on that?
I like Blackhound optics, to be honest.
I've never tried that. I was just gonna say a generic, like the generic 1 to 6.
Yeah,
those are. That right behind you. Exactly. I was just about to point. Those are really good out to 300.
Yeah.
Can I borrow $7? If you really need it, I can give you $7, but I'm thinking you don't.
Yeah, man.
For carry, 40 Smith & Wesson or 10 millimeters. Is that a 10 millimeter? 10 millimeters. Why would you carry 40 short and weak when you got a 10 millimeter?
Oh man, that's great. Man, look, he said I like Leopold. Yeah, but why ain't nobody trying to pay all that money for no?
See, that's the
300-yard
primary arms. The primary arms Strike Eagle 1 to 6. It's like $250.
Yeah, that's like you can get a Blackhound 1 to 6. You can order one through my dealer page for like, I think they're like $275, $299, something like that.
They're awesome.
And so, I mean, you could do that. Ain't nobody trying to buy no Leopold. Pay like $1,000, 300 yards. What's up?
You know, it's funny. I had my one regret when Marley was at nursing school. I had a Elcan Spectre DR. That's the really nice 1 to 4. Oh, that was my favorite optic. I bought it when I was working at the gun store. They went out. One of the companies was going out of business. I got it for like $1,100, which is a steal on one of those. Marley went to nursing school. I sold it, and I want it back so bad, but I don't want to pay $1,500. RGG out the $7 on layaway.
See, all right. So Puff said, "I give you $7 when you jump that fence." So we was on RWG's live one night, and he was like, "If y'all do something, then I'll go jump this fence." We never got to see him jump the fence. So he's not going to live that down until we see him jump the fence. And then he's the self-proclaimed king of layaway. Because every gun he buys on layaway.
You know what? Layaway's coming back. Why put your own money out when you can let it sit for somebody else and pay it little by little? Shoot.
Yep.
I'm on the layaway game. That it went out in the 90s for some reason. I think it's coming back.
Yeah, this dude, he just bought a Chris Vector on layaway.
Hot damn, that's some money right there.
Yeah, man, he just bought a Vector on
Monstrum
layaway.
defense stats says Monstrum 1 to 4s and 1 to 6s. I have tried some of the Monstrum stuff. Surprisingly good. The Chinese optics, surprisingly good quality.
Yeah, I hear Monstroms are good. I've heard good and bad about them. I've never tried one myself.
I had one of their rails, their aluminum rails on a couple of things, and quality is better than most of the stuff you see come out of China.
Yeah.
I guess he wants you back on his show.
Who is that?
A regular gun guy said, "You coming back on?"
No. You said layaway coming back. He's saying.
Oh, coming back as in it never went away.
Yeah, it never left.
No, man. Listen, people like stopped. People used to do that for like kids' clothing and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
No, I like the way layaway guns because then I know like a month from now I'm getting something really fucking cool.
So you're a layaway guy too, huh?
I've done it before. I have definitely done it before, and I've not been disappointed.
Yeah, I do.
Can't afford it right now, so let me put $100 on it. Next week let me put another $100 on it. And then when it doesn't feel like I just spent $700, if I only put $100 a week, it's not that bad.
So if you had a choice between the MP5 and the Vector, which one would you take?
MP5. Not even a question. The Vector. If I had a choice between full autos of both of those, which I have shot both in full auto, the Vector in 45 full auto is an experience. If anybody out there gets a chance to put your cheek on one of those and pull the trigger, the rate of fire is so fast on those Vectors. It's a holy experience.
Well, that's what he just got was a 45 Vector.
The semi-auto is cool. The recoil system is pretty neat. The recoil on the MP5 is just too pleasant. It's too nice. The roller delay is the most pleasant 9mm you can shoot. Plus, 9mm is a little cheaper than 45. But if I could get a full auto Vector, oh fuck yeah! You bet your bottom dollar I'd be shooting that thing because I don't know, a second and a half and you dump a 30-round magazine. It's unbelievably fast.
Gotcha. So, but if it was semi-auto, your choice would be the MP5.
Have you ever shot an MP5?
No, I've held the damn, what company is that makes that clone?
PTR?
Yes. We sell a lot of PTRs at the shop.
They're good. They're really good. You need to take one out and shoot it. Roller delay has a very unique feel to, especially do you have any 9mm, just regular 9mm carbines?
No.
Okay. 9mm direct blowback is get the fuck out of here. You see his comment? Look at his comment. What is an MP5? Get the fuck out of here. You better know what it is.
He's dead serious. He probably doesn't know what it is.
Doesn't know? Oh my god. Go back to every 80s action movie. Hold on. Every 80s action movie ever. Ooh, it's probably dark. There you go. The sexy sex of the MP5.
Yeah.
But no, roller delay blowback it's a treat. There's nothing like it when it comes to direct blowback 9mm. I mean, CMMG Banshee's good too.
I've shot 9mm carbines. I just don't own one.
They're not, if it's a direct blowback, they're not pleasant to shoot because all of that recoil is just, there's nothing locking it together. It's just shooting straight back into you.
Have you you heard of Head Down Firearms, right?
Yes, I know the name.
Okay, so the guy that owns the store I work in owns Head Down Firearms as well.
Okay.
And they just came out with a 9mm carbine. And it's on an AR platform. And that thing, it shoots really soft, really flat. And actually out of the 16-inch barrel, it almost sounds like a suppressed 22. It's so quiet for some reason.
My first SBR was a 9mm direct blowback AR-15. Glock takes Glock mags and everything. And what's funny is I just don't shoot it anymore because the MP5 just trumps it in every single way. It's quieter, it's softer. It's just the MP5 is just the way to go. He's new to the gun world and still wet behind the ears. Okay. I thought you were kidding me. No, MP5. Go look at every action movie. Go John McClane. Is that his name from Die Hard?
Yeah.
Oh man, the 80s was full of Beretta M9s and MP5s. That's what every 80s action movie had.
Yeah, man. He said, "What is it? Damn it!" He just showed you what it was.
MP5. Go do a quick Google.
Yeah.
You'll know. I promise you've seen it in a ton of movies.
Use your iPhone and search MP5 and you'll see it.
A 10mm Banshee shoots softer than a 9mm FM9. So the Banshee, what's up? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Banshees, the CMMG Banshee runs a, what's it called? A rotary delayed blowback. So it's similar to roller delay. So you do get that same soft feeling. It's delayed blowback is always better than straight blowback.
Yeah, these guys.
You got a good audience. You got a bunch of friendly guys in here. I like it.
Oh yeah, man. I love my family, man. Gotta love them, them eBay cha-chings. He said, Big Dre, can you please block Puff? Damn, R-double-G. Man, these guys are hilarious, man. So a lot of these guys, they share lives, man. They'll be in mine one day and his the next day.
What's for regular gun guy? Once you start, I can see. So your first video was 3 months ago. You are on a dangerous path, my friend. Guns are fucking addictive, and then you want every single one, and then you want. Just wait till you start the NFA game. When you start getting suppressors, silencers. Oh fuck me! It's a whole different ball game. You're gonna want every single suppressor you come across.
And see, that's what I'm afraid of, man.
It's dangerous.
Man, my buddy, he just ordered his first one for his 22, and then the guy at the shop, he ordered one for his 22. Then he got a.
It's the gateway drug to suppressors because it's so quiet. Oh
yeah, he just ordered a 30 cal can to put on his. He's got a lever action 357 rifle.
That's fucking cool.
So
that's super cool.
Since he works at the shop and we have a range, we took his rifle out there with the suppressor on it, man. Dude, that thing, the loudest part was running the doggone lever, man.
Oh, that's super cool. God, that's cool.
Yeah,
suppressors are a total addiction. Oh. You'll find reasons to have suppressors that you don't even. You're like, yeah, but I kind of want this gun in the next 6 months, so it's already a 6-month wait for the NFA paperwork. I might as well buy the suppressor.
Right. What's up? Said I have 3 suppressors. They are a beautiful thing.
Oh, they're just. I think I'm up to not to flaunt, but I think I got 5 or 6. I think I have 5 here, and I have 5 sitting at Hank's at my SOT. Hank's my SOT, and I've just not transferred them because I only shoot at his range, his private at his house. And if I want to shoot one of the suppressors, I just go borrow it and shoot it and put it back. So it's like, do I really want to spend $1,000 to transfer all those, or should I just keep using them at his place?
Man, I'm trying to get down to Florida so I can come holler at y'all. I've been trying to get down there, and because I want to go check out the hacienda, man, and shoot.
He's in the middle of nowhere, and it's really nice. None of the neighbors care about shooting. I was over there this afternoon doing some filming, and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah,
which is nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I see he's got that old bus out there. I'm like, what's up with the bus?
He's got the Hank. Hank's a weird guy. He's such a character because he's got on one side of his property he has the what's it called? An ambulance, the back of an ambulance that's off the truck.
Right.
But then you turn around and he's got an Audi R8 in the driveway. It's
he doesn't have the R8 anymore, does he?
So he sold the second gen R8 and bought a first gen R8.
Okay.
Yeah, and he still has it. You know, it's funny. He doesn't drive it a whole lot now that he's getting into that van life thing. He's not driving the R8 that much anymore. He's driving that van everywhere because he loves the space. You can stretch out in an RV.
There's a guy that comes in our shop and he drives he's got I guess it's a Gen 3. Mm-hmm. It's a 2020. All right.
That's man. The money.
Yeah, that thing is sexy, man.
They are.
When he first pulled in the parking lot with it, I was like, who in the hell is driving this? Mm-hmm. And when I saw who it was, I was like, it's the hand sanitizer guy.
What hand sanitizer?
He has his company. He does something else completely, but he got into making hand sanitizer when COVID hit. And
did he sell it?
And this company ended up like wanting like 300,000 cases or something. So he ended up making millions off this damn hand sanitizer.
That's wild. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, so now he'll come in the shop, man, and like if you come in our shop, there's big gallon jugs of hand sanitizer sitting everywhere. They all come from him. When we run low, he's like, hey, we need some hand sanitizer.
I just that one day I will find that lucky break where I'm like, oh my God, I made $1 million. I'm gonna go buy a machine gun.
Yeah, man.
That's the problem. Most people are like, oh, I'll buy a house. I'll buy a nice car. And I'm like, no, I'm buying an M16. I'm getting a machine gun up in here. Yeah. That's what I want.
Yeah, man. This dude he just made a small batch of hand sanitizer. Now he has contracts with places like Walmarts and shit.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
Just out of nowhere. But yeah, man. But what do you think about 300 Black? I've fallen in love with 300 Blackout. I've got 2 of them. I got one in my backpack over here. I built one that folds. It's on an APF lower, and
pistol. What length?
It's an 8.5 inch, and it has a folding lower receiver.
The people who are making 16-inch 300 blacks,
they're wasting material.
They're wasting. So the 300 Blackout was designed for like a 9.8 inch barrel. Like you get your full burn at like 9.8 inches. So anything over 10 is just a waste. You're just slowing the bullet back down.
Yeah.
So yeah, pistol it. If anybody's thinking about making one, pistol it. Just do a pistol at like 10 inches. Yep. But you don't have a suppressor, that is the whole joy of 300 Blackout, because it is giggle quiet.
Yeah, I know.
Good 220 grain 300 Black is giggle quiet. You just pull the trigger and you're like, oh my God, it's so funny.
And my boss man at the shop has a 300 Blackout pistol. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like a blunderbuss a little bit. And it's a break action, and you just put one round in, and he'll suppress it, and it's like
do you know which gun it is, which break action?
I forgot what gun it is, man, but he had that one custom made in a 300 Blackout.
Back in 2012, AAC and Harrington and Richardson teamed up and made what do they call it? The partner? No, the H&R. I can't think of the name. It's a break action single shot. It was short and threaded out at the end for a suppressor, right. And it is so funny because it's all you hear is the click and then the tick and it's done. That's it. That's all you hear. Oh, it's amazing. It's so. And you know what's funny? I ended up doing some horse trading in the middle of COVID. I traded my 300 Blackout pistol that I had for a Colts 1911-22 conversion thing. I have a video on it. Mm-hmm. So I don't even have. I think I still have ammo downstairs, but I don't even have an upper that shoots 300 Blackout. I need to get another.
Oh. Yeah, you do, man.
They're fun.
I got two. I got 10.5 inch and I got the 8.5 inch.
They're awesome. You just need a 30 cal can. Honestly, you need to get a 30 cal can.
Yeah, I do, but I want a slimline 30 cal can because I want something because on my 10.5 inch it has an 11.5 inch handguard on it. Yeah, and so it's got right now I've got a slimline cat can on it.
Mm-hmm. You know, the one that I have run when I was running 300 Blackout, the one that I ran the most was I have a Liberty Mystic, which is a 9mm suppressor. Mm-hmm. I ran that one the most out of any. I run that more than I ran the other one that I have, the Omega, primarily because I got into 300 Blackout hand loading and casting. So I was casting because 300 Blackout for a long time, and still it's expensive round to shoot. It's a very pricey, especially the 220s. They're pricey rounds. I got it to where I could cast and reload a 230 grain lead bullet that was stupid quiet for like 8 cents a shot, something like that.
Damn. Super
cheap. But you don't want to be putting lead through a can that you can't take apart.
Right.
So I use my the Liberty Mystic I have because that thing is indestructible. Oh my God, that thing's built like a tank. Honestly, what I ended up doing was if it got so gunked up that I couldn't take it apart, I would set the whole thing in what's called the dip, which is hydrogen peroxide and vinegar. It creates peracetic acid.
Okay.
Put it in there. Doesn't affect steel. Doesn't affect titanium. Eats the crap out of lead. So you'll see it bubbling up all the lead. cleans that thing spick and span. You can take it apart, wipe it off, put it back together, and you're ready to go again. And
Okay.
8 cents a round with lead is awesome. It's so cheap and so quiet.
Man, you know, I didn't know you knew how to swage bullets and stuff.
I do. When it comes to guns, I've dabbled in just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I want to be just dangerous to know how it works sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I did casting. I got into lead casting. I want to get a 9mm mold because I'm tired of paying full price for 9mm.
That was a big part of SDI's curriculum, was teaching you how to swage bullets and cast and stuff.
It's something that's kind of a, you know, it was a dying art for a good couple years. For the last probably 20 years, it's been kind of a dying art. Mm-hmm. With prices climbing again, casting has become a real. With prices up, casting has become a thing, and then powder coating has come into the mix as well. And guys are starting to do casts with powder coating, so it doesn't even leave a lead residue anywhere in the gun because it's got the plastic powder coat on the outside. So there's some really cool stuff going on with casting, and it's cheap.
What's the deal with people powder coating bullets these days?
That's so yeah. You basically, the way I've seen it done. And I haven't gotten into it yet, but I want to. You take the bullets. The easiest way I've seen it is take the bullets, you heat them up in an oven. You run them around in that powder, and then you heat them up again, and the coating sticks and adheres. And then when you shoot it, it doesn't lead your barrel because there's no lead actually touching the barrel. It's just the powder coat, and you only get a tiny bit of lead vapor that fills in behind vaporized lead, and that is the only issue. You have to clean out of the suppressor. But it doesn't lead anything like it normally. Like when you shoot 22 a lot, you know how you get all that lead through everything?
Right.
You don't get any of that with powder-coated bullets.
Okay. RWG was asking where you can get suppressed. I know you can go to Silencer Co., Liberty,
your
local
best
gun
bet,
shop.
If you're buying your first can, is to find a local gun shop that sells NFA weapons, suppressors, silencers. Get to know them and do a lot of research on what you want. The first thing I would say is get a can that is multifunctional. That's why my first can was at Liberty Mystic. You can break it apart and clean it. Mm-hmm. You can shoot lead through it so it doesn't hurt it. So I was shooting 22 all the way up to, you actually can shoot it on an AR-15, which is crazy. It's not the most quiet, but it totally works. That's what I would go for a multi-cal can first, or 22. Right. And then kind of build your repertoire. Find what you like shooting and build up from there.
My thing, this is my plan, babyface. Mm-hmm. And tell me how you think this is going to work for me. Or you think I'm still going to have the addiction and want more. My thought process was just get that 130 cal can to cover 7.62, 300 black, 5.56, 223. Because that's pretty much all the rifle rounds I shoot. And then just leave it alone.
It don't work like that. It's like chips. Suppressors are like chips. You'll get one, and then you'll be like, man, I really want to shoot 22. I really want to suppress 22. And then you'll get a 22. Then you go, man, I really want to suppress pistol. I have a nice Glock. I'd really love to suppress that. Then you'll get a 9mm. And you'll be like, well, shit, 9mm is really cool. I really want to suppress 45. So then now I need a 45 can. So you'll get a 45 can.
Can't you get a 45 can that will work on a 9mm?
You can, but they're not as quiet.
Oh, okay.
So you want a can that's the quietest possible. Plus 45 is like longer. The 9 kills are shorter. So I want the shortest can possible. Then you'll go for, well, I want one of those little midget cans, little tiny ones, because they fit really well in like an MP5 or something, and you'll buy that. And then you'll go, well, I have an M249 fully automatic. I really need a can to go on the front of that. What is capable with full auto? That's what I'm going to get next.
Well, any can I get, I want it to be full auto rated.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I always say I don't know how the market's looking right now, but for me, $700 or $800 to me is always like the sweet spot. You get a lot of suppressor for $700. Right. When you start going over that, you start getting into very specific suppressors, like the Knight's Armament ones that you see on M4s for the military. You start getting into really costly metals and things that your everyday shooter doesn't need. Unless your schedule of fire is crazy and you're shooting full auto all the time and you need it to just work, you don't need a $1,500 can. It's just, you're wasting money.
Right. So my man here says, what's the best 30 cal can? This fool said I'll use a can of Pringles. Damn it, man.
Best is hard to say. There's a couple things when it comes to suppressors that are important.
Weight.
Weight is one.
Length.
Length is one. Raw decibel numbers is not as important as tone. That's something that I've learned. You will find cans that on the decibel chart rate, 2 dB lower, 3 dB lower. But when you shoot them, they have a very high-pitched, twangy tone, and it hurts your ears. Where if you have a can that might shoot a little bit louder, but has a deep, rich tone, very pleasant on the ears. So I've always found if you have friends or know people that have cans, try shooting theirs, see what you like. I swear by my, for that pistol can, if you want an all-around pistol, the Liberty Mystic, I swear by that thing. You can shoot everything on it, full auto 300 blackout. You can't shoot full auto 5.56, but you can shoot. Look at their list of calibers that it's rated for. You can shoot everything. Anything sub 35 caliber, anything sub 9mm can go through it pretty much perfectly, and it's pretty quiet. So that's always like where I steer somebody for the first one, because then you can put it on a 9mm, you can put it on an AR-15, put it on all sorts of shit, and it's not going to be the quietest, but it does pretty well, and it gives you a taste of like what do you like to shoot. And then you can tailor your purchases after that.
Got you. And that makes sense. And a lot of people, man, a lot of these guys, they'll have questions about stuff like that. I've shot suppressors, but I've never really like studied them. And so my thought was, I'm going to get a 30 cal can. I know that'll cover my bases for what I need. And then I look at everybody I know that's got suppressors, and they like have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10. And it's like, damn.
The problem that I'm facing right now is once you get to that 10 number and you're like, well, I got a shitload of suppressors. What's next? You're like, well, I think I need a machine gun. And then you're like, well, fuck, that's a lot of money, but I do need a machine gun. now I'm to the point where I'm like, Marley, I need a machine gun. She's like, you're not buying a machine gun. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I need a machine gun. Oil filter suppressors. They work perfectly well. They're an interesting thing. So with the NFA, the way I've always understood it is I don't know if the adapter is what is serialized or if the suppressor part is serialized. If the adapter is your serialized part and you transfer that, go for it. That's awesome. If you serialize the oil can itself, anytime that you shoot that thing out, so 100 rounds and it's pretty much dead, you can't fix it. You can't repack it, and you can't put a new one on the end because that is now a felony. So if you find one of those where the adapter is serialized and you pay for that and transfer it, oh hell yeah, you can screw anything you want on the end of it. So who cares?
Well, there's something. What's this new law that they were talking about where they're only going to make one part of the suppressor serialized?
It doesn't make a lot of sense. What they do now is there are parts that are unserialized that are still considered suppressor components. So if I were to have a suppressor and a bunch of extra baffles, but nothing to put those baffles in, I could get in trouble under the NFA because I have suppressor components and I'm not a manufacturer, which is wholly retarded. Like, that's the dumbest shit. So they're trying to make it easier on manufacturers while at the same time making everything else worse. It's like, oh, we'll give you this little stick of gum while we take away everything else and put pistol braces on their NFA, which is stupid. Because
there was something about, like, I guess each baffle is individually serialized or something.
They're not doing that now. So baffles aren't necessarily serialized, but when you go to a suppressor manufacturer, you're supposed to account for every part that you have. So you're not supposed to have just a pile of baffles sitting there, which you would think, like, if it was a repair shop or something, you have extra stuff laying around. Right. Something comes in, you drop a new one in, out the door it goes.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that with NFA weapons. You're supposed to have, say your suppressor has 8 baffles and you want to make 10 suppressors, you're only supposed to have 80 baffles sitting ready to go. If you have more than that, they can get you in trouble for it, which is just wholly stupid. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. What is the movie Ghost told me to watch last night?
Is that a reference to something? What were you dreaming about? I don't know what the reference is.
Well, he had Ghost Tactical on his live.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ghost probably told him to watch a movie, and I missed most of the live, so I don't know. Oh, Don't Be a Menace.
Oh, you've never wait. You've never seen Don't Be a Menace? Who is saying that?
Regular Gun Guy.
Regular Gun Guy's never. I'm. Look at my skin color.
I know.
Look at my skin color. I've seen Don't Be a Menace, and it is fan fucking tastic. It is such a good movie.
It's funny as hell.
Oh, it's so good.
Damn, Babyface said he finna pull your black card, RWG.
No, you really need to go see it. It's hilarious.
Oh, he said
that wasn't the movie. Oh God, Don't Be a Menace is a fantastic movie.
I heard, RWG, they said you hadn't seen American Sniper yet, so I'm gonna need
good
you to
movie.
get on that.
Good movie. Story. If you read the book, also Chris Kyle's an interesting character.
Yeah, man.
Good book.
He seemed like he was a really good dude.
Yeah. No, I think he was. It was a shame what happened to him. Random guy just kind of flipped his lid. Sniper and Act of Valor.
Yeah, apparently he used to take the veterans out to the range, and that guy just
set one of the old Marine. It set him off, and he shot him. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah,
I got a partner. He did 3 tours in Iraq as a sniper, and I asked him. I said, "How real was that movie? If you could rate it or whatever?" And he was like, "It was about 95 to 97% accurate."
It's
how it is being a sniper out there.
Yeah, so you hear a lot about snipers that are like, I'm glad you see Don't Be a Menace, Babyface. You hear a lot about snipers. I think snipers almost have it worse than your because you are seeing who you're killing. Like you're looking at very closely who you're shooting.
Right.
Like it's not like a little target 200 yards out you're just shooting at and they die. Like you're up and close with that optic and you're seeing that somebody's done, like you're killing somebody.
Right.
They had the same Chris Kyle, if you read his book, he had a very good way of looking at it. He was like, if I didn't kill them, they were going to kill all the guys on the ground. I don't care. My guys are coming home. And I'm not worried about him.
Right. Well, you know,
1917. Have you seen 1917?
No.
Hollow Point says last combat movie I saw was 1917. Really good, based on it's a story from World War I, trench warfare. Really good movie, highly recommended.
1917.
Mm-hmm. Really. It's a one take. So, they shot it as like a one take movie where they don't cut the camera ever. The whole movie is spliced together to look like it's one solid camera take for the whole 2 hours. Really cool. Really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, Chris Kyle, he did a thing with I'm trying to remember that guy's name. It's Red something Firearms out of Louisiana.
Red Jacket.
Yeah,
I remember that guy
several years ago.
He good crazy.
Yeah, he went through some shit. He's in prison now.
In jail. Yeah, he's still in prison.
Yeah, but he they built a custom. They used to build custom guns, and they built that gun and it was a special Chris Kyle gun, and he came up and he signed it and all that stuff, and then they gave it away as a raffled it off for charity or whatever.
Cool.
But yeah, he that Red Jacket dude, he kind of fucked up. Yeah, his daughter went through some stuff too.
They all were. You don't realize how fucked up that entire group was until you start reading about them, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Like this whole place was fucking crazy. Yeah, Atlas. The only guy that came out of there unscathed was I can't remember his name. He owns Atlas Firearms now. If you look up Atlas, it's one of the guys that was from Red Jacket.
Okay.
You want to start winding down? It's been a quick 2 hours.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can bail out whenever you get ready, man. Well, yeah.
I didn't know if you guys, if you only did 2 hours, if you did, I don't know how long you did.
Oh man, we be chatting in here sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours, man.
I gotta go. It's 10 o'clock here, East Coast. Marley, I think, is getting ready for bed, so I'm gonna go.
All right, man.
Sign out for the night.
It's definitely been a pleasure having you on. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
you coming through.
it's been great talking. If anybody doesn't watch me, I feel free, youtube.com/babyfaceP. I would love to have Big Dre's audience become my audience.
Yeah, man. And I'll definitely put a link to his channel down in the description of this video, man, so y'all can go and subscribe to him, man.
Please.
Great guy, man. Go check him out.
Appreciate and we got to get you back on Hanks because it's always good to sit and talk.
Oh yeah, man. Tell him to send me the invite, man. You know how it is.
You know, I actually will. I'll tell him we got to get you back on, and we'll see if Lola can get you scheduled.
All right, that'll work, man.
All right, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. It's been a quick 2 hours. Went by real fast.
All right, man. All right, you guys. Have a good one, buddy.
Have a great night.
Hey, you too.